With a huge potential return and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. In a possible sign that the Lucha Bros, Rey Fenix and Penta are heading to WWE as their contracts with AEW will expire this or next month, New Era Wrestling wrote this to our fans: Rey Fenix will be unable to participate in our Lucha Libre event on September 27th due to personal circumstances. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause, as it is beyond our control. However, we remain committed to delivering the finest Lucha Libre experience in El Paso. We assure you of this promise. Please stay tuned for updates regarding the event lineup. Best regards, the New Era Wrestling family. Another possible sign of their WWE arrival was revealed, with Ringside News writing that, according to PW Insider, on August 1st, the Lucha Brothers filed for several trademarks. The trademarks include Cedro Miedo, Zero Miedo, AN1MO, Fuego, King Fuego, and Rey Fuego. These trademarks are intended for use in entertainment services, namely exhibitions and performances by a professional wrestler and entertainer, live appearances by a wrestler, live appearances by an entertainer. The filings were made under the company name the Mexa King brand, which is based in California. Following the passing of former pro wrestler and booker Kevin Sullivan, many would pay tribute to the star and send their condolences. However, some have come out and even expressed gratitude that he is dead, as people seem to believe Sullivan played a role in the death of Chris Benoit and Benoit's wife and child. As you all probably know, Benoit murdered his wife, who was previously married to Sullivan, and his son before taking his own life. Here's some of the posts these people have made on X. He killed Chris Benoit and his family. Chris Benoit is about to get his revenge. Hate to say, I'm glad he's gone, but I think he had something to do with Chris Benoit murder-suicide. Chris Benoit finally gets his justice. The murderer of Chris Benoit has died. Why would Sullivan be in hell? Probably because he murdered Chris Benoit and his family. Rumor has it that this guy was a Satanist, and it is believed that he had something to do with the death of Chris Benoit. Satanists and Masons are the same, and they are in control of this beautiful world. F Kevin Sullivan. I know he did it. I've been saying it since day one he did it. I hope Chris Benoit is beating his ass all over purgatory. I know Kevin did it to get even for him stealing his wife. I hope he rots in hell. Chris Benoit didn't do it. This guy did. Chris Benoit looking down from heaven. They finally got the real murderer. Chris Benoit versus Kevin Sullivan. Hell, August 9th, 2024. Mentioning WWE's perspective on how Jacob Fatu's current run in the company has gone thus far, Ringside News wrote that Mike Johnson of PW Insider reports that WWE has been thrilled with Jacob Fatu's performances on their programming. One source described the former MLW World Heavyweight Champion as bringing a true element of danger to the ring. Explaining her decision to part ways with WWE, former backstage correspondent Kayla Braxton told the Nikki and Bree show, "I was under contract. Announcers, we operate very differently. I just realized within myself after 8 years, I've done everything I can do here. You know how the schedule is at WWE. It's very hard to accomplish anything else you want to do. I just felt like I was starting to miss out on opportunities outside of the company. I wasn't doing much anymore at my former position. I just had to make the decision, not knowing necessarily what I was about to do in that moment, but I had to walk away. It was all amicable. I just knew it was time for me to peace out." Talking about his relationship with CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, who was on the disciplinary committee in AEW that decided it would be best to terminate Punk following a backstage altercation, said this to Gorilla Position. Honestly, I haven't spoken to him since before the decision was made as part of the disciplinary committee. I was advised that it's best not to reach out to him because there are legal matters involved, and I'm not a lawyer. I'm not even a college graduate. So that's pretty much the last time we talked. I want to say it was the week before All In last year, or maybe just a little before that. Advocating for a WWE Premium Live event to take place in Italy, WWE Champion Cody Rhodes told Gabby AF, "I really hope that Italy gets a WWE. We did a show in Italy, a live event. They were. If people saw Scotland, Scotland was outrageous. If people saw France, France was outrageous. I wish people got to see what Italy was like. I didn't know what we were walking into. I didn't even know if we were on TV in Italy. They would be a great place for a PLE. I make no decisions and can't get anything done, but that was a really cool experience." Giving an update on the WWE contract status of LA Knight, Ringside News said that LA Knight won the WWE United States title at SummerSlam, snapping Logan Paul's impressive run as champion. Now he has even more to celebrate because the former Eli Drake is also enjoying a new, much more lucrative WWE contract. Sean Ross Sapp reported on Fightful Select that while negotiations were ongoing for LA Knight, the two sides were far apart on money. That being said, recently there has been a significant update in this regard. It is now being reported that LA Knight has restructured and extended his WWE contract, securing a large pay increase and committing to remain with the company for several years. It was not noted exactly how long this new deal is. In the fall of 2023, LA Knight was about to sign a new 5-year deal with WWE. However, he's not going anywhere for a long time to come, even though his deal was initially set to expire in 2025. This will undoubtedly make a lot of WWE fans very happy to hear. Talking about the sound that comes from her hair whips in matches, Bianca Belair told Cody Rhodes on What Do You Want to Talk About? It's real. A lot of people think, even still to this day, they're adding sound effects. She put that in to make that noise. Nope, there's no sound effects. And then there was Becky. She was the one that had all the marks on her stomach, and people swore up and down that it was makeup. Why would they put makeup on it? I was like, it's not makeup, it's real. So yeah, the braid is a real thing. It has a mind of its own. Announcing the signing of a former WWE star, the NWA wrote this in a press release. The National Wrestling Alliance assigned Trevor Murdoch to an exclusive contract. A 25-year in-ring veteran, the Missouri native has twice held the coveted NWA World's Heavyweight title. Trevor Murdoch has virtually come to epitomize the National Wrestling Alliance in the Lightning One era, says NWA Chief Operating Officer Joe Galli. Whether in the ring or as a locker room leader, he's a cornerstone of this company that we're happy to say will be with us for quite some time. Galli continues. From his direct ties to NWA legend Harley Race to being a 2-time World's Heavyweight Champion, he says of the signing, Trevor links the NWA of old to the incredible brand of wrestling it is today. As Roman Reigns has returned to WWE to take on this new iteration of the Bloodline led by Solo Sikoa, it appears the original Tribal Chief could be getting another entrance theme, with Ringside News writing that, according to Fightful Select, new theme music for the undisputed WWE Universal Champion has been produced and is ready to go. The new track is described by one source as expansive and lengthy, suggesting it could be a major departure from Reigns' current theme. While there was a hint of this new music at SummerSlam, it's unclear when or if it will officially debut. There's speculation that it could make its first appearance on tonight's episode of SmackDown, but that remains unconfirmed. It's also worth noting that WWE has produced new entrance music for top stars in the past, only for it to be shelved. Randy Orton, for example, reportedly nixed new music that had been created for him. Revealing when he found out about his firing from TNA Wrestling and his final days there, former president of the company, Scott D'Amore, said this on Busted Open Radio.
Was it as much of a shock to you as it was for everybody else when they first heard the news?
It wasn't a total shock to me because I see all the moves behind the scenes, and we had our build up to it. And I think, so here's your scoop for your headline. I found out that what was happening with me 2 days before Hard to Kill. So actually, before we flew to Vegas, before we did that amazing culmination of the rebrand of TNA, which is something I spearheaded from tip to tail, I found out 2 nights before, when I was about to get on a plane, I found out that what was kind of in the cards. But I did what professionals do. I locked that at that place in my brain and kept it there. But I went there and I did my job. But yeah, it was gutting. But I went there. We put on those shows. I wanted to put that exclamation mark on the 7 years of what I did, which led to that promo. I went to that ring, going, this is my love letter, professional wrestling. And at that time saying, this might be it for me. Like I might walk out of Florida in another week and, just off into the sunset because I just didn't know. I'm very proud of the work we did there. And I know Len would always get mad when we or anybody would reference, Impact being a dead brand when we got there. And it wasn't a dead brand when we got there. Impact Wrestling was deader than dead. It was an insult to dead brands in 2017 to just call Impact dead. And that was something that I think is in some ways unprecedented. It's like Robert Evans and I talked about, when in the history of wrestling has a company ever been that low and then came back from it?
Taking to ex-WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H announced a new title, writing time to turn WWE Speed up another notch. Excited to announce that the WWE Speed Women's Championship Tournament will premiere September 4th at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, exclusively on X. Recently, TKO Group Holdings revealed how the funds misallocated by Vince McMahon would be repaid, as Ringside News wrote that former WWE Chairman Vince McMahon officially stepped down from his roles with WWE and its parent company, TKO, in January 2024, following the filing of a sex trafficking lawsuit by Janelle Grant. This resignation comes 18 months after his initial departure in 2022, which was prompted by reports that he had misused company funds to pay non-disclosure agreements to Grant and other individuals. Since his resignation, McMahon has been actively reimbursing WWE for the misappropriated funds. WWE merged with UFC under the umbrella of TKO in September 2023, and the company's latest quarterly report indicates that McMahon has continued these reimbursement efforts even after his departure. The report states Mr. McMahon has agreed to make future payments to certain counterparties personally. As of December 31st, 2023, McMahon owed a total of $1.5 million to various parties, a liability he has since settled in full as of June 30th, 2024. The report further notes that McMahon has committed to reimbursing WWE for additional costs incurred due to the investigation conducted by a special committee of the former WWE Board of Directors. This investigation was part of the broader scrutiny into McMahon's financial dealings and alleged misconduct. McMahon had briefly returned to WWE in January 2023 with the intention of securing a sale of the company, which eventually led to the formation of TKO. However, the lawsuit filed by Janelle Grant in January 2024, which accused McMahon of gross sexual misconduct and trafficking during her time with the company, forced his second resignation. McMahon has consistently and vehemently denied these allegations. As McMahon exits the wrestling empire he built, the legal and financial ramifications of his actions continue to unfold. Discussing the differences in his relationships with Triple H and Vince McMahon and his standing in WWE, Bobby Lashley, who is set to see his contract with the company expire soon, said this on the Laboratory podcast: "If I say the wrong thing right now, I had a connection with Vince. Vince understood me. Vince was big on the show. He looked at people that were stars. He saw that in me. There were a lot of little nuggets that Vince would give me throughout my career and tell me different things. Vince looked at me like I can tell Bobby works his ass off. I can send him anywhere around the country to represent the brand. He looked at me like a star. I like Vince. I haven't really had too much of a connection with Hunter. Hunter has his guys. I've tried to, but we haven't really worked enough together to get to know each other. Lashley added this in regards to his future return to in-ring action. I had surgery, a little boo-boo. Happened in France during a match. Just a freak accident. They told me I wasn't supposed to be back for 6 months. 6 weeks, I have the brace off, working out. My physical therapist was like, "You're not supposed to be able to do that." I'm different. I'm working out and lifting. I don't think I'm 2 months out of surgery now, and I'm hitting it pretty hard. I think I'll be ready and cleared in less than a month. At that time, we'll see what happens. Mentioning his desire to be the one to retire John Cena, WWE Intercontinental Champion Bron Breakker told the Daily Star, "I think the only fitting match that comes to mind for me is to retire John Cena, because he's going on a farewell tour from what I know. I don't know how long he's going to be around and stuff or what his schedule is, but if he wants to come back and have the best possible match with the most elite talent that there is to work with that he hasn't worked with yet, that's me. There is no one else. So if he wants to get in there and mix it up with the best of the next generation that's going to, next 5-10 years, going to step up and be leaders for this locker room, it's me." When it comes to a potential Brock Lesnar WWE comeback, Ringside News wrote that Brock Lesnar was originally rumored to face Gunther at WrestleMania 40, but plans changed significantly. Although Lesnar wasn't named, he was implicated in Janelle Grant's high-profile lawsuit leading to his removal from WWE's plans. However, he is expected to return as soon as possible. Janelle Grant's lawsuit alleges that in July 2021, Vince McMahon directed her to create personalized sexual content for a WWE superstar he wanted to re-sign. The lawsuit did not name the wrestler, but described them as both a UFC fighter and WWE talent. Although Brock Lesnar was not mentioned, the timeline suggests a limited number of possible wrestlers. The lawsuit claims McMahon shared explicit photos with the WWE superstar, who responded positively. In December, McMahon allegedly gave Grant's personal cell phone number to the wrestler. The wrestler then requested a video of her urinating and used derogatory language toward her. A meetup was planned but did not happen due to travel issues. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that Lesnar is still not able to be used. When the higher-ups in legal change their minds, the expectation is that he will be back shortly after that point. As of this writing, Lesnar has not started that process. There was also a conversation related to the Royal Rumble about a surprise that, as of now, wouldn't be able to happen. However, depending on how the cases go, that could change by February 1st, 2025 at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.